Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sandra, Sonia, and Angie of the Horrific Chicks here
Hi.
for another episode of Horrific Chicks podcast. What's up, guys?
Yay.
Hi, what's up?
Hello. How far are
So, we are here to discuss the conclusion of our series of Guillermo Del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, last two episodes, episodes 7 and 8. And let's jump right into it, shall we? So episode 7 was The Viewing, directed by Panos Cosmatos.
Cosmatos? I love that name.
Los Matos. I know.
This was the same director as Mandy with Nicolas Cage. Did you see that?
Oh, I have not
Now
You know
it
seen
makes
what?
sense,
I
right?
have seen it and it makes sense now.
Yep.
I haven't
It
seen
makes
it.
total sense now. Because this
It's
one messed.
trippy. It's
It's
Yeah,
trippy.
it is. It is. I totally get it. You have to watch that movie, Sonia.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to, and then I don't, but yeah.
It's
It's very
okay.
trippy, and it makes total sense that he directed this episode, The Viewing.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a very trippy episode.
It is.
Go
All
ahead,
right. So
Sandra.
yeah, so this started off this wealthy and mysterious guy, Lionel. He brings four well,
Sorry.
stranger. Well, I guess it's people he
Strangers.
knew. They're
Yeah, but
strangers, but it's people that he knew of.
important to note, it was set in 1979, one of the best, grooviest years of all time. Go ahead.
Every time we have to say something about 1979, you say that.
I wonder why.
It is important to note. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so he invites these four people to his home, and they and these each of these people are experts in a specific field. So they have. I wrote them down.
It's
Charlotte, she's like a space engineer. Some something to
She's
do with
like a
space. She's
neuro something, right? Or what?
yeah, space is something to do with space and then
She's
this
spacey.
they're all
she's
like super influential people.
yeah,
Yes.
The other
and
one is
then
like a novelist,
yes,
right?
they have Guy. He's in literature. He writes. Yeah, he's a novelist. And then Randall's a musician, and Targ is a psychic, and
Yes.
he's into or he has ESP. He's a
Yeah,
psychic, so
he was weird.
a spiritualist. But they were all weird.
Well,
Yeah,
he was weird, but he was the most sensible. Like, I don't know about doing this stuff, or I don't know about.
yeah, that's
He was
true.
the one
Yeah,
questioning things, and the
yeah,
others
he
were
was.
more,
Yeah,
into, yeah,
I
fine, I'll
have to
try.
say
And
the actors in this were all like people that you've seen before. Eric Andre
Yeah,
plays that musician.
the musician that he plays Randall.
Peter Weller is the
yeah,
RoboCop.
yep.
yeah.
And Charlene Yi, who we've seen in many different films. And Steve Aggie. Is it Aggie? How do you say his name?
I don't know.
Anyway,
That sounds right.
they're great. They were great. Go ahead.
So yeah, this mysterious guy Lionel seems to know all about them. He as soon as they come in, each of them have their favorite drink waiting for them, like perfectly made,
Ex-
exactly the way they like it.
Motherfucking know I like
Yeah. And then
that he was some
and
Yeah,
then
random.
then
he
one
basically
one of the guys had like tea or something, and it was like the exact amount of honey or whatever in
And
and
it.
it was a
yeah,
special specific tea.
Specific one that you can't really find. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, that right there would have been like, mm,
there's something
uh,
going on.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
And
that so after a while, this guy basically feeding them drinks and coke.
not only drinks, he shows up with like this most exclusive bottle of whiskey that like
Yeah,
like 50 years old, survived like World War II in Japan in Kyoto. It's like it's like this most amazing thing. And then, you know, his kind of like his I wanted to say side piece, but that's not what she was. I think so, maybe.
Well,
Um,
listen,
Oh, we don't know. Yeah.
they didn't really make that clear, so it could be.
Right, but so she was like this, like, you know, kind of like the co-host, and she's like
Oh, his
pouring,
assistant,
and
maybe.
they're having drinks, and then one, you know, he's like kind of like getting them comfortable to
Yeah.
do the next thing. He brings out the ill pot, and he's like, we're all gonna
Oh
smoke
yeah, right.
it. And then comes the coke, and then everything gets crazy.
And it's the most
How
like
it goes, you guys.
is the finest, supposedly the finest one in the world, and I
Yeah.
don't know about Coke, so is the finest cut, the fine whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so
As they say.
he's getting these people comfortable.
No
He's
comment.
getting these people comfortable and um
I would
kind
have
of
been done in that situation. It would have been
yeah,
over.
these people were
Like,
still
do this.
and Charlotte, she did it, first of all, the drink that she had wasn't even alcohol. It was a ginger ale or something.
Yeah, it wasn't
The
alcohol.
initial drink.
Yeah.
So she said she didn't drink and do drugs and things like that. She did all that stuff and she was still kind of aware of things. I don't know how that's possible. But
Yeah.
anyway, so he's basically kind of lowering their inhibitions, and and then it got a little weird for me towards the middle because I really it was kind of dragging a little bit for me, and I didn't know what was going on until he led them to this little secret room with this thing that I wasn't sure what it was at first,
It
but
looks,
later when it
yeah.
comes out, oh shit, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
weirdest.
So I guess my question is, he specifically called on these people to come to his house to try, like, did he know that there was this creature in that
Yeah, so at
thing,
towards the
or did
end,
he not know?
I feel like he did know, but he didn't know what it
What it could
was
handle, what it could do.
or where
I
it
think,
came from, or enough about it, and I
right.
think he felt in some way these people
Could figure it
each,
out.
each would have
Yeah.
would be able to like put together like what this thing was.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. I think it was just all of an experiment for him.
Yeah,
And, he gave a golden ticket, so to speak.
right.
Not really, so to speak. Guillermo like introduces it that way. It's like
Yeah.
it's a golden ticket to this, privileged, off the beaten path home. This wealthy guy has like access, and I think he was kind of hoping that like these different minds could figure out what this thing was
Right.
in his home that he has. And like he said at one point, which I thought was funny, it takes a lot of money to be this rich or something like. So he's like, let me see what might happen if
Yeah,
I drug you up and get you a little bit, like, in a certain state, to see what happens next. And then this thing it's kind of like a blob or something, and it just
It reminded me of the creature in Slither.
Mm.
oh yeah,
That's what I thought of when I saw it.
yeah, I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah, it was weird because at first, when it was that this guy brought these people into his home and you could tell this guy was a rich guy, I almost thought this episode was gonna be like House on Haunted Hill,
Mm.
Yeah.
because of,
Yeah.
but it totally went like a sci-fi direction,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
not
totally.
a not a mystery.
Was this one based on an H.P. Lovecraft
I don't
story too?
believe so.
Because
I
it
don't believe
was
so.
very that.
It could it could have been, but I don't think it was.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I don't think it was.
But it was wild. You guys,
Yeah.
this one was so wild. I have to tell you that I did enjoy watching it, and it was like totally a part of it was I don't know, like it was just really trippy, but like at certain parts I was like, can they stop the music? Because it was like weirding me out. Like
It was
because
it was grabbing at a bunch of your senses at one time.
right.
Yeah,
Visual
that's a good way
and
to say
the
it.
music.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was a lot going on. It
yeah,
was a
It was a
lot
lot
going on.
and then eventually like they're trying to escape this thing, and who can make it out?
Yeah.
One of the guards is like also like, yo, all right, we're out.
yeah.
Like he picks up his shotgun or whatever, his AK, whatever the hell that thing is, and is like ready to go to war because
Yeah.
it was not of this world.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, so eventually they try to get the hell out of there. And not all of them made it.
No.
No.
It was a good one. I really liked it.
It was interesting.
I like the end, you know.
Yeah. I like the end of
But
it.
I did feel like it dragged in the at parts like
So
towards the
yeah.
beginning. But then when it started to get into when they started getting into that room and something was happening with that whatever it was that statue or whatever, I was like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Definitely an interesting one.
mhm.
Definitely an
I
interesting
enjoyed
one.
it. I thought it was trippy. It was
I didn't see where that one was going.
kind of funny.
I had no
Yeah.
idea that was gonna happen with that
Yeah.
one.
All right. Anyway. So on to the next one. The last and final episode, episode 8, The Murmuring, directed by Jennifer Kent. I really like this one. I like this one a lot, actually.
So the one thing I wrote in this one is that it was so sad.
It was sad, but it was so beautiful
Yeah.
because so Jennifer Kent was director. Andrew Lincoln was in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know and love. Essie Davis plays the wife. So they're oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce this word, but ornithologists, people who study
Sounds right.
birds.
That sounds right.
You know, there was a point in my life where I was watching birds outside my window with my cat for a good period of time in the Bronx. Sandra.
Oh, I remember. Yes. Yes.
Sorry. Anyway, people actually do this for a living. They study the birds, and so at some point,
Yeah.
there's this.
They were researchers.
It was actually interesting.
They're researchers. They study these birds that are called dunlins.
Dunlins.
And every time these birds kind of like come around, weird stuff starts to happen. And the wife in particular starts to like have visions that are not actually there. And I loved this episode, but I have to say that it took me a while to like understand what these visions were, because they were kind of like a mix of things.
Well, they were staying. Well, let's say too that at one point they go to this house. They rent. I guess they rent this house,
like a beach, like a lake house or something.
Yeah, it's like an island on an island.
Yes,
and where these birds tend to flock to, so they can study them. And throughout the episode, we find out there's a history, like a dark history with this house of people that used to live there. So that's part of the visions that she was seeing in the house. And even getting further into it, we find out the history of that couple, their history of their marriage, and that they had a child that passed away. And she hadn't never, I mean, you never really get over anything like that, but I guess some time had passed, and he was trying to I guess
get her to come to terms with
and she never I guess, came to terms with it. And so it was all coming out, especially in this house with the history that this house had and the vision she was seeing. It was kind of bringing it all back up.
Very like indifferent to him. Like she was, you know, as like a lot of things, a lot of this happens in couplehood.
I mean, she was, you know, she was sad and she was hurting, and he was too, but he was just trying. I think it sounds like it sounds kind of bad to say he was just trying to move on, because like I said, you can't really move on for something like that. It's hard, but you know, he was trying to, you know, I guess maybe
he was trying to have a life with her.
Yeah, he loved
their
her
life
very
to
much.
Be this drab, kind of sad, you know, dull thing all the time.
He definitely loved her very much.
Yeah,
you could tell that the way he spoke to her, the way he looked at her.
He made her that sandwich on the beach. It was so sweet. He's like,
even when she dismissed him and his advances and stuff, he was still like, okay, honey, and you know,
because he knew, you know, what she was dealing with, what she dealt with.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought it was, like you said, it was very sad, but I thought it was a very sad but beautiful story. It was I guess it was a love story, because they did love each other, you know, behind the grief and, you know, the anger and the sadness they had. They loved each other very much. I thought it was a good ghost story too.
Yeah.
Because you know, at some point you see we find out about what happened in the house in the years past with the woman that lived there and the kids that, you know, so I think when she found out about all that, it brought even if it made her feel a little worse, because it brought back a lot of the stuff she felt when she lost her child. You know? And then I thought the end was also really beautiful. That I don't know if she completely came to terms with everything, but she was willing to open herself up to her husband again and say, like, I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to try and move past it and move forward with you. I love you, like that. So I just love this. I love everything about this.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
I kind of didn't want it to end at that point, because when she said that, I was kind of like, oh no, they're gonna, you know, talk and things will get a little better for them as a couple, and I kind of wanted to see that.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see what would have happened.
I think it ended appropriately. I'm just saying, like, you know, if they wanted to kind of extend it, then it would have been nice to kind of see.
I think it was a good ending, but I agree. I think it would have been nice to kind of find out what happened after she came to that realization that you know, like, she's ready to kind of deal with it and cope with everything and talk. So I thought it was very beautiful. And I believe this was based on a short story by Guillermo Del Toro.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Not 100% sure, but
it seems very much like his thing.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Because he like kind of mixes this you know, sci-fi, but also like
this beauty and
love and
that's true.
He mixes that all in very well in his movies. So yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, because this was one of my very favorite ones of all of them.
Me too.
I have to say.
Me too. So since this is the last episode, we thought it would be a good idea or fun for us to just say which of these episodes 1 through 8 was our favorite one of the series. So I guess I can start. My favorite one was actually this one, The Murmuring. This is one that I sat through and I just couldn't take my eyes off it, and I watched it twice. And I just thought it was like everything I said before. It was beautiful. It was, you know, it was eerie. It had eerie moments. It was a good ghost story. It was a good love story. I just thought, and the acting was great. I just thought it was very well made. So I think I say I vote for 8 as my my favorite one of the series. What about you, Sonia?
So I would say that my favorite one was the first one, Lot 36.
Okay,
Wow.
yeah, that was good.
I really liked that one. I thought it was I thought the characters were great, and I believed what they were going through and how they were feeling about everything. And the story was good. I thought the monster was really good.
Yeah, it was.
The scenery and backdrop of the whole episode was really good, and it got me into wanting to watch the rest of the series. So I would say that Lot 36 is my favorite.
What about you, Angela?
It's really hard for me to pick one.
You have to.
I loved the murmuring. No, I'm picking 3.
What?
I don't know. I can't choose. I loved the murmuring. That was a beautiful story for me. For all the reasons that Sandra mentioned. And the other one that I really liked was The Outside, episode 4, directed by Anna Lily Amanpour, where the
that was episode 4.
Aloe Glow, yeah. I really liked that one because it was just kind of very realistic to what happens to a lot of women, that a lot of women feel so like, desperate to fit in and just be this beautiful, like, perfect thing. And I didn't see it coming, when she like stabbed her husband and like turned into this bizarre thing. And I just loved the awkwardness of the character, and that she was, I loved that one.
That was a good one.
And also, I have to say, I loved The Autopsy, episode 3. With F. Murray Abraham, because he is one of my favorites. I just thought that it was directed really well. The story was really great. The CGI in that one was so amazing. I love this kind of idea of, like aliens kind of like, or whatever, taking over people's bodies and trying to like survive in this world. Yeah, I don't know. I like that one too. So I picked
that was
3.
a good one. All right.
This was
nice.
Good.
So this was fun. This is the
season 2.
Yes, is it like
I don't know.
finalized that there's gonna be a season 2?
No.
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't think so. I
just got real excited, but
I think there's I heard rumors about it, or there's talks about possibly, but it's not official yet. But it would be nice to see some more.
Is the man.
Yeah,
I love the directors that he put together. All of them from so many different types of backgrounds. Yeah. This was really fun. Honestly, for me, sometimes like a short story is so much better than like a long movie, because and so for that reason also, I love these kind of short series. So please come out with season 2.
Yeah, I would love if they come out with a season 2 and we get to see some more of these great stories. So hopefully that happens. So this was fun. This was the first time we've done a podcast about an actual series, and discussed all the episodes of a series, which I thought was really fun, and hopefully we get to do it again.
Yeah.
But for now, we hope you enjoyed these. Make sure you go back and check out our other episodes for our podcast episodes for Cabinet of Curiosities, episodes 1 through 6. As always, you can find this video recording on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go and subscribe. Also, you can hear our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Oh, sorry, Instagram and Facebook. No Twitter.
No more Twitter.
No more Twitter.
No more Twitter.
No more Twitter. Sorry. And we'll be back with another episode. Not sure what the next one will be, but we'll try and pick something good.
We'll be back
to
with
talk
another episode.
about.
We'll be back with another episode soon.
Yeah,
Yes,
and so make sure you keep following us so you know when our next stuff is coming up. So as always, I'm Sandra, and this is Sonia and Angie. We're the Horror Flick Chicks, and we'll see you next time. Peace, love, and horror. Bye.